Okay. Let me make sure that I'm getting.
It was really hard for me to like get the names
correctly.
right.
Okay. John is the guy you hooked up with first. And you spent some time with.
Yeah.
You were talking to John.
Yeah.
While you were talking to Ben. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were what city were you in with John?
London. Let's put a little. So basically, I was the first time I was in London. I was or the not the first time ever, but that first little bit. It was all about John, and I hung out with Ben once.
During the time you were hanging out with John.
Yeah.
At that point, you hadn't developed any feelings for John yet.
No, when I went on that first date with Ben, we hadn't really.
And sexually, you hadn't done anything. You had done something sexually.
We did, yeah, okay. Yeah. I felt really bad that week.
So you were sexual with John. You were dating John.
I wasn't dating him yet. We had just hooked up, and I was just kind of like, I don't know. I felt weird about it.
Okay, sure.
And then this other guy had been talking. So I matched with them both at the same time, and they wanted to hang out. It just happened to like a timing thing where I hung out with Ben.
Sure. Okay, so you're trying to figure out who you're more interested in.
I'm going to hell.
No. I mean, it's like the final episode of Bachelorette. So, then you go on a date with Ben. And then what happens with Ben? There's no connection or like
no,
what?
The connection was like fire.
There was connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was like physical connection, emotional connection.
Ben is from Paris?
No, both of them are from London.
Both of them are from London.
But I ended up leaving to Paris for a week and then came back to London.
Okay, so neither of them were with you when you were in Paris?
No.
Okay.
No.
But you're talking at that point to...
Well, so when I left, when after I went on that one date with Ben, I didn't really after it, I just went back to John because I was like, you know what? The connection was good, but like, I'm just going to commit to this other guy.
So you're no longer talking to Ben, or you're still talking to Ben on the phone?
No, we didn't really talk. He asked to hang out a couple times, and I kind of just blew him off.
Okay. When you say blew him off, you just ignored him? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was just like, I'm busy, or I already made plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, got it. So respectfully, you basically told him no.
Summer in Europe.
Sure. So you're hanging out with John at this point. Now, how long is all this going on? Like, what's the timeline?
Like a month.
So, okay, you're hanging out with John for a month. In the beginning of that month, you go on a date with Ben, keep hanging out with John, and then John stops talking to you.
Yeah, like the minute I left, I was planning on like, you know, I was gonna go to Paris, I was gonna come back, and I was even thinking like me and him could go to Greece and see my family, not to introduce him, but just like.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah, I did. And he was totally on board for it. He was so keen. And then
he was on board saying he was on board?
Yeah, no, he was like 100% like, let's do it. Like, go to Paris. And then when you come back, we'll figure everything out. But then pretty much the day I left to Paris, I didn't really hear from him.
When you say I didn't hear from him, did you message him and then he ignored you? Or
he was like, yeah, he kind of like, it was just like weak replies, kind of blew me off. And I was getting a little bit confused. And then I kept trying to make an effort to talk to him and call him, and he always came up with an excuse. And then he was kind of like, "This is too much for me. Like he said it's too much. I need to focus on myself. I'm going through therapy. Like I need to cut all ties." He's like, "I've taken my Tinder profile down. I'm going to be a celibate," is what he said.
Is there any part of you that thinks that he was telling the truth?
At first I was like, wow, what a fuckboy move. Like, you're just full of bullshit. Like, you just wanted your cake and to eat it too. But I've since talked to him, and he's a friend of mine now. But yeah, he was going through some stuff. Like,
okay, so he was telling the truth.
Yeah,
okay.
He was, yeah.
So you come back to London, connection with John is gone at that point.
Yeah, but while I was in Paris, Ben was the one talking to me almost every single day. I remember one night, I talked to him till like 4 a.m. While I was in Paris.
Right.
Yeah.
So you come back, and now London Ben is all over Alexandra.
Yeah. He's like, I want to hang out with you before you go to North America. Like, he ended up just staying on my Airbnb the entire time.
Okay. How long was that?
It was about a week.
Okay. So now you guys are hooking up for about a week, and then you come back to the States.
Yeah. Well, I went back to Canada initially at that time because I'm Canadian.
Right. Yeah, we'll consider that a part of the States. Too.
Yeah, no.
So then, okay, so now you're suggesting that the sexual, but you had sexual relationships with Ben as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so initially you brought this up. You said you want to know my opinion about.
Yeah, because
what?
it was just so. The second guy, I still talk to him every single day.
So Ben.
Yeah, I still want to see him. I still, think about him tons. I still think that like I actually did fall in love with him, but it's weird because it was just a short little time. We got really close really quick, but it's kind of weird for someone who's not committing, like I've in my head and emotionally, I feel like I've committed in some way to this person, but I'm in no way committed to them at all.
Okay.
I met in LA. Like I'm seeing some girl here. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you
he knows about it.
You had a purely physical connection with this guy.
So can someone not commit but commit in a non-committal way? Is this so? Like, what's your interpretation of all of that?
No, you're not shape or form for commitment. in no way you're going to.
But
live that life.
I do fall in love with people.
Well, I mean, define falling in love.
You just think about them every day, and you maybe hope one day you'll end up with them, and
admiration, attraction, obsession. Yeah.
Fascinating.
I wouldn't call those love.
Fair enough. Yeah. Do you think I'm incapable of love just because I'm incapable?
No, I don't think anybody is incapable of love. I think everybody is capable of love at some point, but I think we need to know what that is. And I think a lot of times people confuse their feelings with what love actually is.
Yeah.
I describe love as something that's unconditional.